As many refugees flee their countries, a lot of kids and teenagers do not get the access or the privilege to proper education. A lot of this is due to lack of funding in their education and lack of financial support in their families. Not only are there no schools and no teachers, there is a lot of violence in these areas. That's why I, Juliana Acero, along with Regina Rivera and Luvica Velasco, created a charity called the Refu-education Fund. The Refu-education Fund is a charity that supports education for all displaced children. By the time we're 5 years old, 90% of our brains are developed. This is harder for children from low-income families. Not only do they hear fewer words by the time they're 3, but they can enter school more than 18 months behind. Around 30 to 34 million, or 38 to 43% of 79.5 million forcibly displaced people are children below the age of 18 years old. Afghanistan, Syria, and Palestine experienced over 500 attacks on schools in the last year. In Afghanistan, Syria, and Yemen, explosive weapons were found targeting educational institutions. Armed forces are in schools in 34 countries. In Myanmar, there were 51 incidents of a misuse of their power in 2019, detaining over 270 men and boys, killing 6 prisoners and wounding 8 people.
Okay, our solution is to protect the most of the rights of the children that are most affected in these cases. Because as we know, the more affected in this crisis are children, so we decide to give more and better opportunities in the future to these children who suffer much in these cases. We are going to donate money that will go to organizations and families or schools for children in need. With this charity, we will donate items, money, and all that kids need for an education. So those kids can families or schools for children in need. With this charity, we will donate items, money, and all that kids need for an education. So those kids can have better opportunities. And we know that with all of this helping to those children are going to protect the most of their rights. Okay, as we know, the most affected in these cases are children, because all of these affect to their future. Nobody respect their rights. And here we have a graphic in which we can express the enrollment of refugees in education. Of 7.1 million refugees children, only 3.7 million don't go to school, but only 63% go to primary school compared to 91% globally. 84% of teens get a secondary education around the globe, but only 24% of refugee children do. And a higher education, only 3%.
How will this help? By donating money, this will help send funds to people in need. We will protect the children and their rights, give them access to more and better education and funding, as well as giving them more opportunities. This can help their head, and with better schools, the children will be in a safer place. Their education can take them further in life and help themselves and their families. Goal estimates. We hope by next year we can raise over $100,000 for these people in need. We hope within the next 5 years that we can increase to over $1 million. Within 10 years, we hope to raise over $8 million. We hope to share knowledge to communities about this problem in displaced people. Education is fundamental for any child's mind, and everyone deserves to be educated. School is where refugees are given a second chance. We are failing refugees by not giving them the opportunity to build the skills and the knowledge they need to invest their future. Coded by Filippo Grandi.